and it's like that. Welcome back. We finna get into my boy Charlie Kirk, R.I.P. nigga, because we finna get into him specifically because all of these bitch ass niggas tried to bury this man, and then these motherfuckers is on trial for killing this man. The cocksucker who did it is gonna get what the fuck he deserved, and I'll fuck with Charlie Kirk. This has been my nigga before all of this shit even happened. I really want to say I support him before he really blew up. But he finna get into socialism, and I really want to speak on socialism, so we finna get into this because people don't understand socialism, and people have no clear cut reason to even want to be socialist. They just want to like a hippie, we are the world moment. So let's see what the fuck my man is talking.
Do you believe that being here in America here is a right or a privilege?
Is a right and a privilege.
You have a right to be here?
Yes, I believe anybody has a right to movement to wherever they want.
So you would get rid of all borders?
Yes.
So when you land from an international flight at JFK Airport, no passport checks?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you for so bluntly telling us your view.
I'm a dirty commie, so yeah.
Yeah.
What is your definition of socialism?
Well, in the theoretical, the abstract, or the practical?
Take your pick.
So socialism, as written by Marx, is when the workers own the means of production.
Exactly.
In the actual practical, it's when a small group of very powerful, pernicious people are able to control the rest of the population under the guise of helping the many, when in reality it helps the few, and you get dictatorship, murder, and slaughter, and the revolution never actually...
It's going to be an early pause, but I just want to say this real quick. When people say dumbass shit like the borders, we don't need no borders, I always bring it back to, when you have a home, do you have locks on your door? Do you have locks on your back door? Are you just going to let anybody come in your home? Are you just going to take care of anybody that comes into your home? Are you just going to allow somebody to come in there and steal, burn your house down, or just fuck your house up and then you have to clean it up later? And you're not going to say nothing? That's what it's like to be in your country. Your country is your home. It is a privilege to be in your country, period, point blank. Where you're born is a privilege to be at. Treat it like such, because everybody don't have the opportunity to be where you're from. Some people are in the worst territories of all time, okay? America is one of the best countries in the world. Fuck is you talking about?
Actually comes.
Okay.
It ends in 100 million people dead over the last 100 years.
What about American companies that function as worker cooperatives, which are effectively socialism in practice?
That is partially some of the tenets of Marx. Of course it is. Like Publix grocery stores in Florida.
Okay. So you're in favor of worker cooperatives then?
Yeah, if it's done voluntarily. That's the key.
Yeah, exactly.
I
would agree.
For example, in a church, if you go to a church and everyone says we're going to go share this meal, that's a voluntary cooperation. But socialism is not hinged on voluntarism. It's using a gun. It's by force you must be part of this. Well, by force you must give us your money. By force you're going to be part of our cooperative. Voluntarism is something we all support. It's when you start to use the heavy hand of the state that we start to object it.
I agree. I'm not here to defend Cuba, China, the USSR, or any of that.
Or Vietnam, or
no.
Laos, or Cambodia, or Rhodesia, or Zimbabwe.
So basically, if we can agree that voluntary worker ownership of the means of production,
if they so choose,
okay,
it can work. It also can fall apart. There's plenty of instances where it does, because the problem is that the incentive structure sometimes for innovation with voluntary cooperatives is not always very strong or robust. But yes, in a market, you're allowed. For example, I have no problem with the Amish living the way they do in Pennsylvania.
Neither do I.
Yes, however, I do have a problem saying we're going to force you to live like the Amish. That's where we disagree.
No, I agree with you.
Well, I'm saying, but where socialism has played out over the last 100 years...
Yes, some people have interpreted socialism
that way,
yes.
So for you, as a true socialist, you should go get a bunch of your buddies and friends, go out into the countryside and go live as socialists. See how long you last.
Would you be in favor of tax cuts and loopholes to people who want to start a worker cooperative and exist as a worker cooperative in a market?
I mean, I would give tax cuts for all people. But if they want to do that voluntarily in a market economy, knock yourself out.
Okay. So, we've agreed.
I think so. But here's the point. The question, will you, though, as a socialist, go out and live your value system? Will you go and, say, hey, I'm not going to own any stuff, 10 friends...
Man, Karl Marx didn't even live his own fucking socialist theory, bitch. That's why I hate when niggas be coming out trying to be fake socialists. Karl Marx was supported by a capitalist situation. His friend, one of his best friends who funded his situation and his lifestyle and his living, was actually an owner of a very successful company who was a capitalist. based on capitalism. So you still have to fund this shit one way or another through capitalism. It be stupid, but that's the part that people don't point out in the flaw of the story of everything that Karl Marx was saying. One thing about everything is, yeah, he was right about motherfuckers being able to own shit that they work in doing as far as like, but the thing is, like Charlie Kirk just said, as far as incentives, people need the incentive to get rich. People need the incentive to create. People need the incentive to do things. People need the incentive to get off their ass and, provide to society. The incentive for people to do that is financial freedom. When you take that out the picture, a lot of people won't really even have the reason to get up in the morning. Real talk. A lot of people get up for work in the morning just so they can support something else. Like, that's a reason why they are invested in these other things that they're trying to do. So I don't understand how niggas will think like this.
I are we're gonna grow our own
There's
food.
a difference between personal property and private property when it comes to socialist theory.
Okay, so but
Personal property is things like your toothbrush, your clothes. I would even go so far as to say your house.
Can I have 2 houses?
It depends.
It depends.
That's a
So
very
if I have a
complicated
second house, you might just
question.
take
That's a very
it away.
complicated question that I necessarily don't really have an
it's
answer
not
for
that
you right now.
complicated. If you earned it, you get it. Not complicated. That's our view, right? You get what you earn. And the problem with socialism is that it is against my favorite word in the English language, earn. We believe that you should be able to receive what you earn.
No, I agree with you. As a socialist, I think you should be able to keep what you earn. Marx's critique was of the hyper wealthy stealing the wages of hardworking people who are trying to earn.
Let me tell you what Marx got right, and then let me tell you where I think he was wrong, because I've actually read and studied Marx. Marx is correct that market forces can alienate people from their humanity. That he was very right about that. Yep. And you walk into like your average corporation, sometimes it's like the most soulless place you ever walk into. What he was wrong about, though, was the state of human nature. That we believe humanity, we as conservatives and Christians, were generally not so good as human beings. Marx believed humans were really good and that we're being polluted and contaminated by the societal forces around us. Racism, misogyny, capitalism, all these forces are caused. So we have to strip down all of these external forces, and we'll be able to live as in wonderful harmony in the hills.
And I would agree with that.
Okay, and so that's we think that's insane that human beings are naturally good. Secondly, the idea.
Wait.
Yeah, we think
Marx saying that he wasn't saying that people are naturally good once you remove all these things. The fact that racism, sexism, all these other isms exist is proof of the fact that humans, yes, do have a tendency towards evil, bad behavior.
Well, that's not what Rousseau believed. So Rousseau was the foundational baseline for Marx, right? So
Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Yeah, Rousseau.
Yeah, he didn't display that well enough. Okay, for one, that is what he was saying. He was saying basically like that niggas are innately good. People are innately good when you're born. Just like when that's why a lot of fags try to use, I ain't gonna say fags. That's why a lot of homosexuals try to use socialism as a way to promote what they do. They try to say that you're born away and you become away after a while. But the thing is, people are going to do what people are going to do. Some people are going to become bad regardless of what the fuck is in the way. Some people are going to become a good people regardless of what's in the way. Somebody could go through a bad situation and become a great person. Somebody could go through a good situation and become the worst person ever. Another thing I want to tack on is this. With the Karl Marx situation, like, you can't sit here and try to use socialism as a way to do things when you're not realizing how socialism has been manipulated and used for other people's rights and self-gain. Another thing is also, nigga, you're not making sense because, like he just said, if I work for something, I should be able to get it, keep it, and have it. I read a book called 1984, and I would suggest more people to read it. The thing about it is, that's a very socialist society that man was living in, where you had to ration and get what people gave you, where they don't even know who the fuck the president is for real or who is really running the shit because they just being shown what they want to be, what they're able to be seen. And they're changing the language. They was doing all type of little weird shit to just manipulate the people and play with their mind and brain fuck them and get them to live the way they want them to live in their society. You couldn't just have sex for fun. You had to have sex to procreate. You couldn't just do this. You had to do things based on what the government told you to do. You couldn't marry who you want to marry. And that's literally what socialism always evolves into, a dictatorship. When you get under such a thing, that's not something that you want. You know what I'm saying? In that book, people was always being watched, like how we being watched today, but just deeper. You being watched in your home. You being watched in your car. You being watched everywhere. Your kids are snitching on you and having you hung up in the street like some type of fucking rag doll. The thing about socialism is it's not going to work because for everyone who's tried it, they all know it don't get them that far. You go to Canada, it's gonna take you 3 years to see it. No, it's gonna take you 30 years to see a fucking dentist. Niggas done been on the motherfucking list since 2001 and still ain't seen a damn dentist. You have to choose what you want to do in life. Take your ass to another country. Okay, you want to be a socialist? Go to a socialist country and see how long you last, bitch. Because you're not gonna last that fucking long. It's too many drawbacks and setbacks to socialism. When you look at New York right now, they're about to cause so much mayhem and destruction within New York because of the system is being fucked by somebody who is taking. This is why I don't like immigrants who come over here and try to run shit, right? They'll try to come over here and bring their influences from their country to here and fuck us up. But you left your country for a fucking reason, you dickhead. And another thing with the same people in America who go from one area to the next. You left a Democratic state to go to a Republican state just to bring Democratic values and votes to that state and fuck up that state, not realizing you fucking up that state because you're doing the same thing you was doing in that state that you did in your last state. Realize what's going on, because you got a lot of brainless people out here just getting a concept that sound good and they running with it. You can't just run with socialism, because at the end of the day, I keep trying to tell people something has to fund this shit. Karl Marx was funded. Somebody has to fund what you're doing. When people was trying to say, oh, the working class ain't going to be taxed. The working class will most definitely suffer in New York because they will be taxed. It won't have to be based on income tax. It could be property tax. It could be motherfucking sales tax, gas tax, this tax, entertainment tax, social media taxes. These things can be taxed. People don't want to speak on that, but taxes come in multiple different fucking ways. It ain't just about the income you make. You stupid, dumb shit.
So Rousseau was the one who argued that it's human beings that are naturally good, and we don't have a proclivity towards this stuff. And what we will agree is that there is a problem with widespread alienation of human beings and market forces. It's a big problem.
Yeah, and
it's
people are alienated by capitalism.
But not definitionally. Some people find a lot of purpose in their work, though. That's where I disagree with Marx.
Sure.
Is that some companies are able to create robust environments where people are happy and they're connected. It's not a fault of the system. It's a fault of some applications that happen in the system.
Okay, then we just disagree on our interpretations of Marx.
So I guess the final question, though, is you, as a socialist, can you point to a single time where this theory worked?
The Zapatistas in Mexico in 1991 when NAFTA went into effect.
How long did that last?
To this very day. It is still a region today.
And they don't own anything?
They collectively own their property.
Okay, I have to look at that example. I mean, I would point to the
Zapatistas. Rojava in Syria is an autonomous zone that has existed autonomously in spite of the Syrian civil war that's been going on there. And again, I would point to American and internet and other businesses in other countries that function as worker cooperatives. That's socialism at work. Granted, they are in a capitalist.
We would say it's voluntarism. Yeah.
They are in a capitalist market.
How do you reconcile the Soviet Union, Chinese Communist Party, Pol Pot? How do you reconcile the failures of socialism in the last 100 years?
I just disagree with their interpretation of socialism. I don't think that you should wield authoritarian power in order to force people into socialism.
So here's what we believe, and we'll close on this. Every time it will be tried at scale, a very bad person will assume control under the guise of socialism and become a permanent dictator.
I disagree with the at scale. I would argue that our modern library systems are also examples of socialism.
Wrong.
You literally come...
Someone's in charge.
I can literally walk into Hodge's library over here, check out a book for free, and they trust me to
First
bring
of all,
it back.
It's not free. Someone paid for that book. It's called the taxpayers, so it's not free. The building has to be built. Someone has to pay for the plumbing and pay for the electricity, pay for the heating. Someone has to pay for the workers. Number two, if there is a disagreement within the library and you steal the book, what happens? You don't check out in the right process. You have an overdue fine, so there's a cost to it. You see, the library is actually a very capitalist system because if you don't rewind the old VHS
there's some
tapes...
librarians who say that overdue fines actually don't even work and they don't even provide
It don't matter, bitch. Either way, they're using those things as a way to continue to fund the fucking library. And that's what I said, and I keep trying to say. You need things that will fund the movement. Ain't nothing coming out of nothing for free. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And when you brainless like this and you're not really thinking, you just moving based on instinct or impulse, you have to realize your impulse ain't gonna get you as far as you need it to go. You have to understand something has to pay for everything you're doing. Whether it be you or someone else, something has to pay for it. communism in its form, or socialism, I ain't gonna say communism, socialism in its form of like what we do as far as like possibility, is a prime example with Section 8 or like EBT. If you making too much money, you can't have it. If you have financial assistance in as far as your living circumstances, you can't have it. At a point in time, you couldn't have a father in the household. You know what I'm saying? The government always has rules and stipulations as to what you can do with their money and without their money. And this is why people choose to be financially free, because they don't want the government all in their business, and they don't want nobody telling them what the fuck they can or can't do. That's one of the biggest issues of socialism. No government organization should be able to tell you what the fuck you can or cannot do, what you can or cannot have. That's how I personally feel. That's why I enjoy America, because people will talk all the shit in the world about America. And black people specifically love talking shit. I ain't gonna say black people. Minorities love talking shit about America. But who the fuck brought their ass to America? I ain't gonna say blacks, but you got Hispanics, Irish people, all these motherfuckers out here. Who the fuck brought you here? You got and came here for a reason. You came here from Cuba, wherever the fuck you, Venezuela, wherever the fuck you came from, for a reason. Don't bring all that drama over here. Iran, Pakistan. Don't bring that bullshit over here, because you left that place for a fucking reason. Your parents left that place. Your grandparents left that. They left that place for a fucking reason when they got here, and they got here for the reason of being here. What it provided, which was freedom, an aspect of freedom that they couldn't get where the fuck they was from. And that's the reason why socialism always fails. When motherfuckers came here from Russia in the 80s and they seen the grocery stores was jam-packed full of shit. But when you go to Russia, ain't shit on the shelves for real. That lets you know that the shit don't work. When motherfuckers in China and Japan are fighting over dumbass shit, fighting each other over stupid ass shit like what they was fighting each other over, and the communist shit that they was doing with each other, all the dictator shit that they do, how the people gotta act and be towards one motherfucker, that's when you know socialism don't work, bro. I don't care how you try to cut, slice, and dice it. At some point, people are going to take advantage of what the fuck socialism provides, which is nothing. And then it's going to become nothing eventually. That's why I keep watching this shit in New York so close, because I'm watching how in real time you got black people and white people joining hands, thinking that this is going to actually benefit them, when this man is going to put their city in so much debt. It's going to be crazy, and their head going to be spinning by the time this nigga get out of office, and they're going to look like the motherfucking poltergeist. You better realize what's going on, because you going to let the wolf pull wool over your eyes and make you think he's a sheep, when in reality he going to eat the fuck out of you. Okay? Don't let people think that anything is free, my nigga. Death ain't free, nigga. They gotta pay to bury you. Going to heaven ain't free, nigga. You gotta do things to get there. You gotta act a certain way, be a certain way to get there. You have to have discipline to get there. In any religion, nothing is free. In anything, nothing is free. Being born ain't free, nigga. Somebody gotta feed, clothe, and bathe you. Ain't nothing free. Thinking that we all just gonna be able to provide a house for everybody in this country off GP is retarded. People have to work for things to make things go well. It's a system for a reason, but it's not perfect. No system is perfect. But being a capitalist, I'd rather be a capitalist than a socialist. At least I got an opportunity. With socialism, I have no real opportunity to grow or to become anything more than what they allow me to be. Fuck out of here. People don't understand what real oppression is, and that's what I hate about this country. We got so spoiled that we don't want to work, and we don't want to do things, and we don't want to fight. We just want to sit back and just whine and cry about what the fuck one person is doing or ain't doing. But y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think. Personally, I don't feel nobody should be punished for making more money. That's an incentive that you had. You get your money, and you deserve to have your money. You shouldn't be having your money taken away from you, and you shouldn't be having to pay all this extra money because somebody else don't have it. Just because they don't have it don't mean you gotta fork over this shit. That's just how I personally feel. And people be talking about getting rich all the fucking time. But if you get rich, then you're going to have to deal with rich people problems. And you don't want to deal with rich people problems by adding on rich people problems that didn't have them before. Because now you're going to have to deal with that shit when you get rich. If you get rich, or if you start making a certain amount of money, you're going to have to start forking over that same money. That's the part people not thinking about also. Because you could get on that level. Now you got to deal with that level for real. And you was asking for all of these people to lose what they had. Now you got to lose what the fuck you have. Because now you done earned it. But now you're going to see what the price is when you got it. So many people going to want to pull you down and take it from you because they don't feel like you should have what you have. But you work to get it. Even though what Karl Marx was saying about as far as even like hiring people and not paying them what they deserve to be paid. At some point, you have to have the incentive for your damn self to get out of that job if you feel like they're not paying you enough. At some point, you have to have the instinct to go do something for yourself. At some point, you do have that freedom to do that. It ain't all about what the fuck the company is or is not giving you. The company don't have to necessarily give you shit. They paying you what they paying you, and you knew what you was gonna get paid when you got there. So as far as all that whining and complaining and bitching and moaning, nigga, fuck that. Get a plan, get your mind right, figure out what you want to do, take the proper steps of doing it, and go about that. But don't be no bitch ass nigga. Don't be no hater, my nigga. I'm out. Peace.